campers.
Happy New Year's.
Happy New Year's. I'm Spike.
I'm Chris.
And we're geeking out. Finally, again, we are recording on January 1st, 2023, which means 2022 has finally gotten the heck out. Out!
Yes.
Anyone who knows me knows what a week I've had, so. Yeah. There's a reason I'm sitting here and not sitting here in blue jeans.
Do you want to share your experience?
I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to touch on this quickly for everybody who passed along their thoughts, their prayers, their love, and everything else. Thank you so much. For those of you who are uninformed, Uncle Juju wound up with a naughty little attack from a vicious little group called the Gangrene, who jumped his gallbladder. His gallbladder. Either way, I've been down off of my feet for a week, and I'm just now getting to the point where I can move around. Hopefully, I have enough air left in my lungs that we can actually record some of these things, because I believe this week we've got Geekin Out, which we're doing right now. We have an episode of Backrack Video, which is our what did we watch or not watch last year. And then on top of that, we've got... we'll do with that for right now. We'll see what happens. So,
well, don't worry. Everything is short. Well, except for the list of things. But that you can go through pretty quickly.
I mean, to be honest, sitting here we talked about this a couple of weeks ago before everything went down. We were supposed to have recorded last week. I'm down. Can't do it. And of course, Christmas 2022 for everybody, like east of the Rockies, became a frozen tundra.
Yeah.
So nobody was doing nothing last weekend. So put that on top of the jaw-dropping pain I was going through at the time. We didn't get anything done, but this one had the idea that for Backrack we would go over
recap all the movies and TV shows that we thought was the best of 2022, but I ended up going from making a list of 20, starting from the worst to the best.
So that's what's coming up on back.
And surprisingly, I didn't realize how much I actually saw. But this has happened last year too. I was like, wow, I didn't know.
Well, the thing is,
this year.
you see a lot more of these things than I do. For me to go to a movie is an event now. Okay. Now, and you and I were both sitting there trying to root people back into the movie theaters after Koofamania ended.
Yeah.
But there's just so little to watch right now. I do, by the way, when we do Backrack Video, you're going to be mentioning some movies that I have changed my takes on in the rearview mirror, so you might want to keep an eye out for that. So,
ready for that discussion.
So, Chris, what all have we got going on this week?
All right, well, you know what? Surprisingly, after not doing this for a few weeks now, what do you look for?
That is a good question. I actually had a review I wanted to do.
Oh.
Because I actually bought my first new graphic novel in like 2 years. And I don't know if it's in here. I thought Randy had put it in here, but yeah. I mean, The Beloved Whose Name Shall Not Be Mentioned.
Oh, you mentioned it.
But anyway.
Come get you.
Yeah, you have to say that. You have to say it 3 times for that to happen. But anyway, Alex Ross, and I'll see if I can throw some graphics up on this later. Alex Ross did a new Fantastic Four graphic novel. And it's in hardcover format. It ran about $25, something like that. Big old thing. And, of course, anybody who knows Alex Ross's work knows he goes in for all the subtle shading, the painting. It's not photorealism, but it looks realistic. It looks like a classically trained painter would paint a comic book.
Right.
Is what. This one was a little bit different. He went lighter on... He actually used some ink, and he actually used pencil and ink. So, and this is the first one he ever did. This first graphic novel Alex Ross both wrote and did the art for. So, basically the book came out I saw it coming and went ahead and placed it on pre-order because it's Alex Ross, I was like, at the very least, the artwork looked neat, so I thought it'd be a fun idea. So I order it, it comes out, it goes out into the mail, and of course, Snowmageddon hits this past weekend.
Snowmageddon.
I don't get it until after I finally get home after my surgery. Yeah, it was surgery. And had a chance to sit down and read it. Read it in one setting in about 30 minutes. Dang, that was the best Fantastic Four story I've read since the heyday of J. Michael Straczynski. But Alex Ross gets it. And the whole thing, the concept is the four just come back from a mission. Okay, so you've got Reed Richards, Mr. Fantastic, the stretchy guy. You got his wife, Sue, who's the Invisible Woman. You got her little brother, Johnny, who's the Human Torch. And you got their best friend, Ben Grimm, who's the Thing. The four of them come back, and they're just settling in from this latest mission when suddenly a big hole opens in the middle of the Baxter building, and the negative zone starts to escape. And they're like, what the heck is this? Why? The negative zone doesn't escape. Why is it escaping? And so they manage to, Reed, of course, being Reed Richards, manages to seal it up and everything. They go in to have a look because, always lead with your chin. They go in, and what they wind up doing is taking steps back through the Fantastic Four's history, all the way back almost to their beginnings. And I mean, we're talking about like I think this was in the first 20 issues of the Fantastic Four back in the early 60s. There was this guy who actually knocked out Ben Grimm with gas. He knocked the Thing out with gas and took his place because he thought the Thing was just a poser and stuff, and he was going to infiltrate the Fantastic Four and show the whole world what a bunch of phonies they were, until he found out that the Fantastic Four really is out there and struggling to save humanity from some of these things. And so he winds up sacrificing himself. So everybody thinks Ben Grimm is dead until they get back to the Baxter building and Grimm's just waking up and he's like, what's going on? And that's when Reed figures it out. This calls all the way back to that. And it just shows the Fantastic Four, all the levels they've had, all the influence they've had, all the superb, optimistic ideas. And I think it is the perfect... This could well be the book that becomes like a touchstone for the industry going forward. Hope. It shows what you need to do to truly understand a legacy character and bring them into modern times. With this one book, Alex Ross took everything that made the Fantastic Four awesome before, kept it all relevant, and then put them right into the 21st century and ready for action for another 60, 70 years. This is a really, really good book. And on the rule of 5, fantastic artwork. It's not, like I said, it's not typical Alex Ross heavy painting and stuff, but this is Alex Ross doing a comic book, okay? So there is painting involved, but there's also ink and there's colorants and there's all kinds of things involved. The art is fantastic. The story is great. I would give this one a 5. Can't believe I'm going to say this. For the first time in 3 years, I can fully recommend a book. If you can go out and find Fantastic Four Full Circle by Alex Ross, get a copy of it, you need it in your life. So, whether you're a Marvel fan, a DC fan, or if you like superheroes, if you need a hero in your life, Fantastic Four Full Circle is what you need. So, yeah.
Heck yeah. All right.
Unfortunately, I don't have a copy of it here to show. It's floated somewhere, but par for the course for us. So, now that I've finished interrupting you, Chris, what were you talking about?
Well, I haven't even started, but it's good to know. It's about time that there's actually a good...
There's somebody actually, and it's Marvel Publishing, and it's being published by a publisher called Abrams Books. And at first I thought, when you think Abrams...
J.J. Abrams?
No, this is a different Abrams. I can't remember this guy's name. Doggone, if I remember it, I'll try to include it in the description of the... But this is an entirely different Abrams, and it's one I've actually heard of, and I can't remember his name. So shows how impressed I was. But so anyway, forgive the coughs and the burps. It's gonna be like that all the way through. Go ahead, Chris.
Doing better.
Go ahead, Chris. What you got?
All right. So, I went into this very enthusiastically when actually it's sad news.
Oops.
Legendary Barbara Walters passed away at 93. She's been in the industry for 50 years.
I can't really say anything unless I make fun of her. Because I've ridiculed Baba Wawa for so long.
Baba Wawa.
I'm sad to see she's gone, but she's had a good long life. Goodbye, Barbara. It's been surreal.
Yeah, it sucks. Avatar: Way of Water. That's the sequel to the first Avatar movie that was like the biggest movie ever made. The second one has now reached... Are you ready for this?
No. Oh, is that one of those rhetorical questions? I'm terrible with those. Harry Abrams, by the way. Go ahead.
It reached to a good $382 million at the box office.
This past weekend?
Oh.
That's not bad. Now, is that a cumulative? Is that the cum, or is that...
I don't know if that's actually the...
That has to be the cum, because there's no way in the world you make that in a weekend. But
It's...
How long has it been out? This is what, week number 3? Week 4?
2.
This is only week 2. Okay, so I guess it's not doing too bad. The first Avatar was one of those that kept going and kept going and kept going and wouldn't go away and just won by attrition. It just accumulated like a snowbank. So
Yeah.
Disney better hope that's what this is doing, because I've heard scuttlebutt it's going to need $2 billion to break even. Now that's scuttlebutt. We all know what's in Mr. Scuttlebutt.
It's one of those that is like, I'm gonna be honest. I'm hearing like there's a lot of people that really loves it, and then there's a lot of people that says it's pretty much the exact same story and stuff like that. But it's one of those that is like, you know, do you want to go watch it? Do you not want to go watch it? You know.
I wouldn't even, to be honest, I'm not a fan of Avatar, and I'm not even a fan of the Nickelodeon Avatar. I'm not. I watched the very first one, and after that I was like, But I'd rather watch another SpongeBob than see Avatar. But hey, it's not my thing, and I'm not going to hold anybody. I'm not going to be upset with anybody liking it. It's just not my thing. So.
So.
Hold on.
Oh, what?
Guess what I just saw?
What? The book?
This be the book.
That is a pretty cool cover.
This be what awaits you inside. And of course, it's worth it just for that artwork right there. So, I'll let you look at this sometime. But. So, Fantastic Four, full circle, from AbramsComicArts.com, Abrams Books. Go have a look at them. Oh, well worth the effort. Oh, and I reread Winter Soldier, so the original Captain America run. That was worth it. That made me feel a lot better. Getting a good new book and a good old book, because Ed Brubaker could write the heck out of Captain America. Bless his little heart. Couldn't write anything else very well, but he could write the heck out of Captain America. Anyhow, so.
At least somebody can.
I've interrupted him for the third time for this Alex thing.
Dude,
That's the last one.
it
That's right.
doesn't matter. Does it matter? Does it matter? You guys want to hear this, right? Yes.
Cricket?
That's what we
I need to get a little cricket thing so I can sit here and go cricket, cricket, cricket over to the side whenever you do that. Just for the fun of it. Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
Wow.
All right, some exciting news.
Is it exciting? I threw him off again.
Super Nintendo World is opening up at Universal Studios. It is going to be open February 17th of 2023.
Universal's been eating Disney's lunch on animation lately, and I'm hearing word that they're eating Disney's lunch on the resort parks too, which surprises the heck out of me. But I gotta admit, this one actually looks halfway interesting. But
The one that opened, when did it open? A few years ago in Japan. Apparently that one is doing really, really well.
mm-hmm. Yeah, because it's Nintendo in Japan. Of course it's going to do really well.
So, yeah, I mean, that's pretty cool, though. I'm actually interested in it a little bit.
Now, if Nintendo starts... I get in trouble saying things like this, but if Nintendo were to sign a deal with, like, Good Sam RV Parks... Have you ever heard of them? Good Sam? Good Sam. Good Sam is a chain of RV parks located around the country. They've been withering away for years after the initial buzz of the RV back in the 50s and 60s, and they've just now started coming back because people are starting to get into the RV lifestyle again. Get Nintendo to sign a deal with Good Sam RV Parks, or the National Park Service if you want. You remember the virtual Pokemon games?
Yeah.
Set up certain areas where you would have virtual Legend of Zelda adventures in the woods. You'll have to go through and clean things up because otherwise people will absolutely kill themselves. But set up virtual Legend of Zelda adventures inside the nation's parks and in Good Sam RV parks and stuff. So that way you can see all the woods around you and stuff, and you can sit here and hack and slash while you're...
That would be really cool. That would be really cool.
That will get me in trouble, guaranteed. But
that's pretty cool.
Especially when they go through trying to slash the little bushes and stuff looking for rupees, and the here comes about 15 armed forest rangers trying to tackle you to keep you from because you're chasing this big squirrel across the forest with the stick.
That would be so hilarious.
Yeah, because part of the entertainment's just going to be in playing the other games. The rest of the entertainment's going to be in the Facebook Live of people witnessing these things. But
I always wondered what would happen if, like, people out there who's playing, like, Pokemon Go would run into, like, a cat on the street and be like on their thing it says that there's a Pokemon right there and there's a cat there in real life, and you're just like,
pick up your phone.
I'm actually supposed to catch the cat.
Pick up your phone, hit the cat. That's how you throw the ball, right? In Pokemon Go.
So I want you. That's pretty good. But anyway, yeah, that'd be cool.
That would be cool.
On Netflix, there's a show called Wednesday, based off of Wednesday Addams, the Addams Family, and it's actually doing really, really successful.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the creators of the show mentioned, I'm going to be honest, this isn't too much of a bad idea, and second, it's way different than anybody who could create anything, honestly, because who would have thought this? This is so out of the box. But the creators are interested in making a Young Miss Marple series. What? Seriously, who in Hollywood would actually sit there and be like, you know what would be a great idea? What people would love to watch?
What's this? Miss Marple as a character is almost 100 years old. As a franchise, it's almost 100 years old.
Yes.
In 100 years in Hollywood, Chris, why has nobody in Hollywood done this yet?
But that's the thing; they're just now doing it with Knives Out 2, Murder on the Orient Express, and the Death on the Nile, which actually has like a big group of uh, what's the word of
Fans,
yeah,
aficionados.
like
Yes.
there's a bunch of fans
Right.
out there, and
Those are, yes.
the newest movie, Glass Onion, which is a sequel to Knives Out, is getting a huge, like, everybody's talking about this.
Right.
And I got to admit, after watching it the second time, it's really good. It took a while at the beginning, but it was really good. I got into it.
I'm not arguing that. Here's the question, though. Why are you so ageist? Miss Marple as a character is elderly.
No.
The reason Miss Marple is effective as a character is because she is elderly. If you have actually seen any of the Miss Marple movies, if you've read especially any of the Miss Marple books, Miss Marple is elderly and is dismissed as a result of it. The police dismiss her. The suspects dismiss her. Everybody dismisses her because she's a doddering old lady who's minding her teacups and stuff. A young Miss Marple, I don't know, take your pick. There's about 500 female detectives out there on television, just on British TV right now. All of them could be a young Miss Marple. But they don't stand out because Miss Marple is elderly, and she uses that ageism I was talking about, where people just dismiss her because she's elderly, she's doddering, she's slow, she's no threat to me. She uses that to her advantage to go places she's not supposed to go, to find the clues she's not supposed to find, and her razor sharp, keen intellect, her elderly keen intellect, along with her long experience, is able to make connections most people cannot make. So if you're using a young Miss Marple, what you've done is you've thrown away the experience factor. You're throwing away all the ageism and stuff. I hate using the ageism idea, but that's what it is. You're throwing that away. You're just throwing away so many resources the character has to make her another generic female detective. Without those defining characters, Miss Marple is just another female detective with a British accent and a severe tea addiction. Not to mention the cozies.
I was just now thinking, like, Haley Atwell would be great to come back as this. Oh, no! Amelia Clark! Amelia Clark! Sorry, I'm thinking of who could play Miss Marple. But
A young Miss Marple? Or?
yeah, middle. Oh, they're both like middle age. Well, 30s.
I would. Okay, take. Who did you say?
Haley Atwell.
Okay, take Haley Atwell. Haley Atwell, cute girl, right? Nice looking.
She's a beautiful woman. She's from
nice looking.
Captain America's woman.
Okay, nice looking. Okay, Haley Atwell. Okay, so Sharon Carter. Yeah, okay. Take her, age her up 40 years. Take
Winter Soldier.
They did that in Winter Soldier. Yeah. So and you see how it turned out. Age her up 40 years. Take away the looks. Take away the activity. Take all that stuff away and force her to play something she hasn't played before. Ms. Marple is not a kick butt character. And honestly, Haley Atwell, this would be an excellent role for you to take on Miss Marple as she traditionally is. Not a young Miss Marple, not a middle-aged Miss Marple, as the elderly Miss Marple who is so effective as a detective. Hey, I'm a poet and didn't know it.
Oh. Anyway.
What you got?
What I got.
What you do?
I got. Oh.
But I gotta get it, put it in.
I was gonna say, I was like, wait, what? Okay, so, The Rock. That's right. We're getting into The Rock. We're getting into Dwayne
Pretty
Johnson.
much required to once a month.
I know, right?
I think it's somewhere in my internet service agreement. But
It's like we're paying a subscription just for you. Apparently, he said that he is, he just came out and said, I am unfollowing WB. He will no longer be playing Black Adam.
yeah, they kind of decided. Black Adam, I liked the movie. I liked the character. I loved the character. I really think for The Rock and his limited abilities, I think he did a really good job as Black Adam. I like that idea, that version of the Justice Society. I wish DC would do more with the Justice Society. I wish DC would hire me to come out to Hollywood and develop an entire TV series for the JSA, and quite frankly, it'd probably be a lot less expensive than you think it would be, Warner Brothers. So David Zaslav, call me.
Oh.
So and by golly, I would give you a fantastic JSA. And it would be one that would be real low on special effects and real high on the character development. It would be the most critically acclaimed superhero movie ever because every single one of these frickin' characters has over 80 years of character development. You have 80 years of ideas to draw upon for every one of these JSA characters. So I'm sad to see that they've given up on that. I believe what happened on that was that I think the story was going that Zaslav saw some kind of dailies or something from one of these other DC projects. He was so disgusted he just pulled the plug on the whole thing. Something like that.
Like Black Adam was a good movie, but it was also one of those movies like I can only stand to watch once maybe.
Mm-hmm. It's not one of those.
I don't want to.
It doesn't have a lot of rewatchability. No.
And honestly, the most thing that really destroyed it for me was the other characters, not the superhero characters, but the regular human characters that were struggling with, conflict in their government and stuff like that. Like, I really didn't care. I didn't care about the boy. I didn't care about his mom. Like, I just really didn't care about them, and they were always there.
Yeah, that was what dragged it down, and that was pretty much it was. Surprise, surprise! The new characters that dragged it down.
Yeah, it wasn't like the other. It wasn't the JSA or Black Adam or the villain or any of that. It was that. And then, I'm sorry, but it really made me angry with Amanda Waller. I don't understand why she's a big baddie. Like, I understand, like, she's a good baddie for the Suicide Squad. But when it comes to the main, big, gigantic heroes, like, why are they taking orders from her? Like, that's honestly bothering me.
I will always speak the unspoken. You want the real answer?
You're going to say it anyways now, I know.
She's a fat, sassy black lady. And everybody else is intimidated by fat, sassy black ladies.
Yeah,
that's the stereotype. That is Hollywood's new stereotype. That is what all of this wokeness is about. And don't make me break out a chore duty episode. I'm just going to say that wokeness is the new. Actually, I need it. Wokeness is the new stereotype. Okay, the woke. It doesn't matter whether you're the woke clan or the Ku Klux Klan. You're still a clan.
Okay.
Period. That's why Amanda Waller is such a thing right now. And that's why all these characters who could rip her head off and send it into different directions are supposedly concerned about her because who can argue with the fat, sassy black lady?
It's like...
It's Mammy 2.0.
Well, see, it's like when the Suicide Squad, not the good one, but the bad one. Bruce Wayne, got information from Amanda Waller, and before Bruce Wayne left, he's like, if I was you, I would shut your project down or else we will come for you. Mm-hmm. That's what he said. And then all of a sudden it's like Superman shows up at the end of Black Adam and, it's like he was, I don't know if that's the case, but it felt like he was working with Amanda Waller. and all that stuff, and I'm just like, I don't like this. No, go away. This is stupid. Like, no. Like, no. But yeah, that really got me. But yeah. So speaking of all that, though,
Yeah.
Because of all that, The Rock is upset because of what they're doing with the DC, and that he fought for a long time to get Henry Cavill as Superman to, you know, appear in Black Adam.
Yeah, and bounced him too.
And
I honestly don't understand the hate WB executives have for him. I don't.
The Rock or Superman?
Henry Cavill as Superman.
That's the thing. Like, he's perfect as
They
Superman. It's just
have such a hate on for Henry Cavill.
yes.
I don't get. Did he bang an executive's sister or something? Did he turn down the executive's advance? I don't know. Something happened over there, and it just don't make no sense.
Yeah, it's just I don't know, but like it's really it's just stupid. I don't know what they're doing. I had hope, and that's what the fan base is like really upset right now, because when word got out that James Gunn was now in charge of DC, everybody was excited.
Yeah, I was excited.
Me too. Everybody was excited, and then James Gunn's like, Henry Cavill's no more Superman. We're going to reboot everything and all that, and everybody's like,
Huh?
what?
Here's the thing, okay? I've mentioned Victor Van Doomcock before. He's been breaking rumors left and right on this. He points out that it's James Gunn who's taking the heat for all of this, but it's not his fault. He's the public head of DC Films, okay? Public head of DC Entertainment. But it's David Zaslav who's made the decision to... Remember, Zaslav, the CEO of Warner Brothers Discovery, is the one who has to sign the checks. If he doesn't sign the check, it doesn't get done. He's not signing the checks on these DC projects anymore. Zaslav wants everybody gone. James Gunn has no choice. They're all gone. He's not allowed to use them because Zaslav won't pay for them. But James Gunn's the one whose head is on the line because he's the public face of this. Zaslav is the one behind him putting his mouth in the back of his head and going, no more Henry Cavill as Superman. And so James Gunn's the one's taking the heat, which sounds about right to me.
See, that's the thing, though, because James Gunn also came out and was like, we want to focus on Superman with this next new step that we're going to, and also we want to focus on the younger Superman. And that's when everybody else, like, you know, and for once, fans are like, dude, we don't want another origin story. We want him at his prime. You know, we don't want to see him grow up on the farm again. We don't want to see him meet Lois Lane again. We want him to be already there in the middle of the world doing his Superman thing. You know? And honestly, I totally agree. Like, we don't need that. It's like, I don't need to see another reboot of Batman and see his parents get killed again. Don't need that. We know what happens. It's been told 1,000 times.
We've been talking about Alex Ross earlier. Best Superman origin story I've ever seen. And I think I've mentioned this before. It was just 4 panels, okay? And it was just 4 panels done by Alex Ross, and I think he did it for one of the books. And it just explained us, and it showed, the panel 1 showed his Kryptonian parents and his rocket taking off. The second one showed his Earth parents lifting him as a baby out of the rocket. The third one showed him with growing up and stuff in Smallville. And the fourth one shows him as Superman flying across Metropolis. That's all you need.
A recap.
A recap. It's just a 1-page synopsis. Everybody knows knows this by heart. The vast majority do. The few who don't, there are 1,000 origin stories out there. It's been done to death. You don't need to do it again. I understand why they want to go with the young people, because they think young people are the ones with the money who will go to watch these things. Young people have no money. He has money. I have money. The beloved has money. Our kids don't have any money because they're kids. And their kids are, the beloved and I, our kids are around 30. They don't have,
Plus,
they're not in crushing debt because we didn't raise them that way.
plus we're like, we have taste. So it's like, if we can tell that, oh, this story, if it looks like it's going to be told good and the story is good, then we'll go watch it. If it looks like it's the same old, we probably won't go watch it.
The motto of Geeking Out is a good story told well will sell.
Yes.
For example, and okay, you want to make Superman younger because you want a younger audience. Just came out this past week. 1/4 of all toy sales in America are to adults. And I mean, we're talking the entire toy industry. 1/4 of it goes to adults. There are no action figures selling to kids. They all sell to adults.
Yeah.
Collectors.
That's because adults know, like, oh, I really want that. That would look great.
Yeah.
And it won't be played with. It will not be tore up. It'll be sitting in a package up on a shelf to be looked at and admired and be like, I'm proud that I actually own this. 'Cause that's the way we think.
and that's you can say that's kind of sad, but hey, that's the premium that supports all the other crap projects you guys keep trying to push out. Okay, because think about this: if it wasn't for Top Gun Maverick, would Paramount have made a dime this last year? A dime, one thin dime. If it wasn't for Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse a couple of years ago, made a fortune for Sony, and then they followed that up with the Ghostbusters Answer the Call, or with Ghostbusters Afterlife. That made Sony a fortune. Can't wait to see the sequel to Into the Spider-Verse, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Although I did see the trailer for that, and I'm getting a little cringe to it because, but I have faith. I will have faith in them. If it's not for these few, there's always the few responsible projects, the 10%ers that have to wipe everybody else's butts and do the heavy lifting while everybody else sits there and gathers the crumbs.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and like I said, with the toy industry, 1/4 of all toy sales are to adults. They've tried to start a hashtag kidults about this because I guess there are woke toy designers who are all upset and everything that there are so many adults buying their stuff. Dude, green is green.
Mm-hmm.
And it ain't easy earning green. That's not how the song goes, but that's the way it should go. Okay, I'm going to let this one take over for a little bit because I'm a little bit winded right now. So, you go.
But anyways, even though Henry Cavill is no longer playing Superman, he did get a new job of playing Warhammer. Which
why?
I mean, why
Wait a
not?
minute, Warhammer's one of those massive multiplayer online things, right?
Well, he's a nerd.
Oh yeah, he is a nerd.
He is a nerd. He has proven himself to be a nerd, which is, I think that's why everybody likes him even more. It's because he plays D&D and
one of us.
One of us. In other news, Austin Butler is wanting to play the Human Torch in the Fantastic Four reboot.
I have no idea who that is. Who is that?
Austin Butler he just got through. His biggest project was playing Elvis Presley in the Elvis movie.
Ah, okay. I get you. All right.
Yeah.
You know what? Out of the entire Fantastic Four, the one who came out as the first rock star from that group was the Human Torch back in the 60s.
Yeah.
That was one everybody paid attention to in the 60s and 70s. In the 60s, primarily, it was the Torch because he was the teenager of the group. In the 70s, Ben Grimm started blowing up. The Thing suddenly became the big thing, to the point The Thing actually co-starred with Fred Flintstone and Barney Rubble in a cartoon, believe it or not. No, that actually happened.
Wow.
Thing ring, do your thing. And for our generation, it's all been about, basically been about Sue and Reed and Sue, and being like the ultimate power couple in the superhero industry. And quite frankly, the Human Torch has been in the background for long enough. You could almost consider him a B-list character. You could actually, if you considered the Fantastic Four to be B-list characters, then the Human Torch would become a C-list character. That's how far they've fallen since this nonsense the last decade or so. So yeah, let him have at it. Anybody could impress themselves into the Human Torch right now. So if he's motivated enough that he's willing to pursue it, go for it, buddy.
Yep.
I'm far more interested in. I would like to see John Krasinski stay on as Reed Richards. Sue, as long as she's nice looking, I don't care, and as long as you've got somebody who chews gravel to voice the Thing, because he'd have to be CGI. It's just, you would have to be far, far too awesome of a special effects artist in order to be able to do a practical Thing costume.
Yeah.
To make a believable practical Thing costume. So.
Well, I mean, it'd be pretty cool to, I guess. I mean, I it's the Fantastic Four idea that gets me. But anyway.
Mm-hmm.
All right, last news.
Oh, thank goodness. We're 42 minutes into this, so we need to get ready to wrap it.
All right, so the National Film Registry of the Library of Congress.
They do. Go ahead and finish your story. I'll talk to you.
They've added 25 new films to their library. Now, I'm not going to mention all 25,
thank goodness,
but I'm going to mention the ones that are well known that you have heard of.
See, I do keep track of this every year because these are the ones that get the professional preservation efforts, and these are the ones that are pretty much guaranteed to survive any format changes over the years. They will be set up with the latest, I think right now they're set up to 8K standards. So whenever the standards improve more, these will be the first ones that translate into the new format.
Yeah, there's like a lot of movies that was added from like 30s, 40s, 50s and stuff like that I honestly have never heard of. Know nothing about them. But yeah, that's why I'm picking the ones that we have heard of and that we do know. And that's not many, honestly. But surprisingly, they're
Throw them at me and let's see which ones I recognize.
The Little Mermaid.
The Disney animated one? Yes. That yeah, I could see that one. Okay.
I know this is definitely a weird one, but House Party.
I could actually see an argument for that one too. I mean, there are people they're going to be snobs who will be like, House Party. Those would be the exact same snobs that House Party was aimed at. So, good on them. Throw me a few more.
Iron Man.
Yeah, I could see that. That pretty much revolutionized everything.
No.
Go ahead.
And When Harry Met Sally.
That one had a surprisingly outsized influence on the industry afterwards. So, I mean, with these, we're talking about movies that had influences they were hitting way above their weight, basically.
Oh, and another one.
Yeah.
Carrie.
The original one? Yeah.
Yes.
Carrie in 1976, I think. She was the one who everybody was buzzing about when Star Wars finally hit the next year. Carrie was the one that put Stephen King on the map. So, yeah,
the blood.
I could see it. And that's just it. Carrie is remembered nowadays as a horror movie. Okay, as being just another of the horror movies. It is a psychological terror movie because Carrie is abused from the first frame to the last. She is abused constantly, especially by her domineering mother, but by everybody at the school, the teachers at the school, the students at the school, the people in the neighborhood, her neighbors. Everybody she runs into just treats her like crap. And then when she finally snaps and her telekinetic powers manifest, all of a sudden everybody's like, oh, clutch the pearls. This is what Carrie has far less to do with movies like, say, Cujo or Christine, and far more to do with a movie like Falling Down, I would say. Feel free to discuss and tell me what an idiot I am later on, but it's not like I'll pay attention to you anyway. So,
Yeah, if you love films and filmmaking, then you can go to their website and see all the movies and TV shows and music that follow up into their Library of Congress. It's kind of like, what's the Smithsonian?
Smithsonian,
Yeah,
yes.
Smithsonian.
LOC.gov, that's Library of Congress, LOC.gov. If you ever get excruciatingly bored, by all means, if you need something new that you haven't seen before, go check out their list of all the films that have been preserved, because like you said, 25 a year, and they've been doing this for a couple of decades now.
Yeah.
That is basically a list of the best registered trademark movies of all time. Just pick one. Go through, pick one, pick two, pick three. We were talking about doing a video store. Start with the Library of Congress's list, add all the American Film Institute lists to it, and there's your video store right there. Put them all on DVD, and there's your basic stock.
That would actually be a pretty cool idea, just have like a streaming service of nothing but all the old stuff that nobody
Which
ever...
is basically what Criterion
Oh yeah, that's
did.
true, that's true, yeah.
So, all right, Chris, you got anything else you want to add on?
No, that was all the news, that was...
Okay, so one last word before we go. I said earlier, thanks to all of you guys for all your love and affection and everything. So, but what I want to say one last thing here. Okay, just real serious for a minute, okay? I was in the hospital for 3 days, in excruciating pain, dealing with a severe infection. This one and the beloved wife stayed with me through the whole thing, okay? Like I said, excruciating pain, so I was on heavy narcotics. And when you're on narcotics, boy, especially when you're not used to them, the sweats, the terrors, there was a couple of points I was ready to just bolt out of the ER because I just had to get out. It was a panic attack. And it was this one and the beloved wife who managed to keep me in place, get me to calm down, talk me down off of it, got my heart stop racing, and managed to keep me in place until I could get treated. And then once I came out of the ER and was recovering, it was this one and the beloved wife who were there with me most of the time, holding my hand, getting me through it. So for all the crap I have put on this one's back, I just want to say, bro, thank you so much for everything you've done, man.
We're brothers,
But
family, duh.
yeah. So if he comes, if he needs something like that, I'll be there for him, just like our sister, just like. Now, if you say something boneheaded or stupid, I'll go ahead and crack you upside the head with it. Little Mister, I can't tell who plays Batman, but that's the that's an inside joke. So, you can't get.
I knew the answer. I knew the answer. It's just for some reason my stupid brain says, "Can you please repeat that?"
I absolutely love this kid. So an extra special thanks to Chris and the beloved wife. If it wasn't for you two, I probably would be hanging upside down off a rafter right now. Probably mumbling to myself like Darkman at this point.
This boy here was like, he presses the button and says, "I need medication." So we let it go. And then when they come in, he's like, what was it? Something about, like, basically he didn't want us to wait any longer. And we were like, me and Randy both was about to attack him. Like, really? Really? You called the nurses in here so you can... No. It's like we're staying.
Yeah, because you were spending all your time here, son.
So?
Anyway. So, we're going to go ahead. We'll wrap it on this. Like I said, we've got another episode coming up of Back Rack Video, finally.
Yes.
So, we'll be looking back at 2022.
From the worst to the best
From the
of what we
worst
have
to
seen.
From worst to first. And so, keep an eye out on that. Till next time, I'm Spike.
I'm Chris.
And y'all keep on geeking out. Bye.
Peace.